men support Black women like they should?
Now, who want to jump at that first? Miss
I
Plains.
will.
Oh, go right ahead. Miss Plains is feeling glassy. Go ahead, Trace, if you want to.
I think yes and no. I definitely think that majority of Black men will go ahead and be like, my sister this, let's get this, Black power going, motivate them, push them to go further. But then there's those times on certain things. So it's not just always about a career. It's not always just about a friendship. It's not always just about a relationship. But like, for example, a relationship. If there's a certain Black man who does not want to date a Black woman, and he'll sit there and say, oh, I want to date a white woman, I want to date a Latina woman, an Asian. And then when you explain that, let that be the only thing you say. But men tend to just go, well, I don't want to date a Black woman because she too loud, she too this. Right there, you're already discrediting her. You're already making her look lower. And other people who are hearing this, whether it's on social media, in a group, if you're at at a shop, whatever it is, you're going to go ahead and say things like that. You're going to put that image out there for, okay, well, if a Black man doesn't want to date a Black woman, why should I? Why should I respect her? Why should I even look at her? Why should I give her any attention? So when you are sitting there, like I've heard many Black men say that to a woman, a Black woman, oh, I don't want to date her because of this and that, whatever the case may be. Don't discredit her. Just go ahead and say, oh, I prefer Latin women because of whatever it is. Because by you saying you picking a white woman, a Latin woman, an Asian woman, but you don't want to date a Black woman, you're already giving them the push up and them the push down. And I think that is like the simplest things as that add on to a Black woman and you discrediting her.
Bria, you want to add to that?
How'd you know?
I
I feel like just in certain situations they do. I definitely feel like they support like people who they're related to, and I feel like they support people who they find attractive. But as a whole, like collectively, I feel like it's a lot lacking. But like in my circle, like I can say that the Black men that I know support women, but as far as outside of that, I'm not sure. And I actually have it was a crazy scenario where I was accused of stealing. I was talking to this Black man who was behind me in the line. So I took the stuff back and I was like, you can go to, can we curse on here? Or okay. I was at a liquor store. And the people accused me of stealing. So I wasn't stealing. Like they checked my purse and everything. And then at the end of that, I wanted to return it because I'm not about to support y'all because y'all just accused me of stealing. There was a Black man behind me. So he saw the whole shit happen. And I'm turning to him like, bro, if you can go to another liquor store, like go to another liquor store. So he looks at me after he just saw all of this happen and proceeds to go there. It's a liquor store up the street. It's a liquor store on every corner. If we're going to be 100, like you don't have to go to this liquor store. So he played me in front of all these people and still stood there and bought the liquor after they accused me of stealing. So it's like things like that. But like I said, I think the Black men that I know and they do support definitely people who they're related to and people who they're attracted to. But as a whole, like, no, they could be better. But they could say the same thing. So
Flames. What about you?
Okay. I'm in my mid-40s. So I've had a lot of experience with Black men. In my honest opinion, and this is just my opinion because this has been my experience, I feel like Black women are the most disrespected people on the face of the earth. Not just women, just people in general. I feel like everything we do as Black women are criticized, frowned upon. Like it's peered at, everything we do is broken down. They did this because of this, and they did that because of this, and they do this because of that. And I'm not gonna deal with them because of this. And I can't because of this experience, and I can't, and this forth and so on. But do I believe that Black men support Black women? No, I do not. Not at all. I feel like, and I don't want to bring colorism into it, but I'm going to have to if I'm going to keep it 100.
Do it.
I feel like the darker you are, this is just my experience, and I'm not trying to take away from anyone else. This has been my experience. The darker you are, then the harder my experience has been. I feel like as the color scale go up, then it gets a little easier for them. But my experience, no. Women who I know who have the same skin tone as they experience, no. You're not supported by the Black man. I feel like the Black man don't want us. He want everything outside of us. Like you could have a baby by a Black man. He won't even take care of his children, but then he'll get with a woman who has children and take good damn care of her children, but disregard his children. You know, I have some very strong opinions about that, and I don't want to take the whole floor, and I don't want to feel like I'm venting and like I'm bitter, because honest to God, I'm not. This is just things I've been observing. This is some things I've been feeling but haven't been allowed to share. So I really appreciate this platform. But do I think Black brothers, Black men, no.
Okay.
Not in the least bit. But you know what? I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. They support bullshit though. They support bullshit. If I was wilding and acting a fool, he on board.
They be hopping on that. They be hopping on it. Ooh, girl,
he on board
yes.
with that. But when I tell him like, man, babe, I'm tired. I've been at work all day. I gotta come home and knock this paper out. Would you cook today? Then that's a problem. But if I was popping it, and if I was drinking, and if I was smoking, and if I'm on social media saying, bitch, you better get your whole life, he'd be like, bam. If I was shaking my ass and popping it and getting booty shots and, man, got my breast showing tattoos all up my, bam. He couldn't get enough of me. Yep. But because I have morals and because I have class and I tend to carry myself in a certain manner, then, he don't want no parts of me. That's just my opinion.
That's because you're just too strong for him. That's all it is. You're just too strong for him.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
That's all that is. They don't want to deal with someone that has power, that has a mindset that, you know what? Yeah, we can go ahead and pop our ass sometimes, shake it, do whatever we want. But there's times where we got to be a grown ass woman. We got business to take care of. We got kids. We got all that. We got to do what we got to do. And when we're that woman, then it's a problem. But when your mama's being like that to you, you love your mama. But why can't you love us doing the same thing?
Hey, so can I ask a question? Okay, so as far as Black men not valuing Black women or just women in general, but we'll stick to the Black women. Could that be a thing that mothers take away from kids or from the sons? Because you don't teach them how to value a Black woman. Because I've seen too many times where a mother can be the worst enemy, just as worse than a white woman. So is there some accountability to be taken from Black women as well, or just all us?
Yeah, I think you know what it is. It's all women though. They all do things different. I mean, yes, we all know that when you look at a white family, they do tend to talk to their kids more. They let their kids walk all over them. I mean, we've all seen them in the grocery stores and everywhere else. They sit there and be like, no, Phyllis, just stop. Don't argue. Come on, be nice. Use your inside voice. I mean, and then you got Latinos. We're going to get our chancla and we're going to whoop y'all ass. We're going to hit you or something. I mean, you can't tell me what I can do with my kid or not. But it really isn't just necessarily a Black woman, a Mexican woman, a white woman. It's all women. They should always be teaching their kids, especially men, how to treat a woman. Always, because just like you want your son to be respectful to you, you don't want him out in the streets being disrespectful to a woman, because that is a bad image on you. I believe there's no such thing as really too much bad kids, bad parenting. If your kid is bad, it's because you're not on top of them. You're not sitting there setting like role models. You're not setting goals. You're not setting a foundation. You know, you could always threaten a kid that you're going to whip his ass, but if you ain't really on him on the day-to-day basis on what to do, what not to do, he's just going to do what he's going to want to do anyways. He knows he's going to have an ass whooping coming. He's just going to take it and still do what he wants because he just knows he's going to get it regardless.
Okay.
So I just think it's all women need to be on top of just parenting their kids and showing them the path of loving a woman.
Jaida,
I mean, that's.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jaida. Jaida, you had your.
I was just gonna add in. I also feel like it also depends on how like the parent raises their kid, because there's some women that treats their sons as their man almost,
Yes.
and not as their son. So I feel like that plays a complete role in it too. You can, like, it's one thing to be a mama's boy, but it's one thing when a mom is like acting like, oh, he's supposed to protect me, he's supposed to be here for me, he's supposed to be in my house forever because that's my son, when it shouldn't be that way.
What's up, Leanne?
Hey, y'all.
The hardest working lady I know. Hey, Leanne, you walked in. Well, you zoomed in. Oh, that was they gotta pay for that. You zoomed in right on time, right? So the question is, do black men support black women like they should? Before you, I see your eyes got all big. You was like, oh, let me crack this too. Because nobody answered the question that I asked.
Okay.
As far as the accountability of women, like when Matthew get older, and I know you, because the one thing you always tell Matthew, you ain't gonna mess with them nappy head ass girls, them fast ass girls. Do you as mothers, well, let's let Bria go, do you as mothers help that train move forward on them dislikes?
Okay, so I'm not a mom.
Okay, but talk about it.
Yeah. I'm not a mom, but I mean, for sure. I mean, we can all take accountability for that. But at the end of the day, at this age, you're a grown ass man. So some things you are going to have to unlearn. So if you know that this isn't right, which you should know that's not right, you are now responsible for unlearning the behavior and then putting it forward. So we can all take accountability, but it's on the person or the black man to change.
Okay. Leanne, do black men support you?
You know what? I will have to say that it's a hard balance, because I do have, I choose to surround myself with black men who are friends of mine that do support me and support my endeavors. I choose not to surround myself with people who don't. If the relationship in any capacity, whether it be personal or professional, tends to go to non-supportive, then I don't entertain that type of stuff. So the black men that are in my life do support me. I'm in like a group on Facebook, so I have seen the other side of that, where black men have been hurt by people. I can't say it's just their mothers, but just women in general. And because of that, they are very unsupportive. They're very, they're non-trusting, and it comes out in their relationships and the way they speak about women in general, but also black women. I really just advocate for people to go to therapy. Like, if somebody hurt you in your past, that don't have nothing to do with me. And even if I do hurt you, I still recommend you talk to somebody about it, because you have to move on. You have to, like Bria said, you have to unlearn those things. You have to unpack them, because you can't just go around holding on to that and treating everybody with the same hurt that somebody else inflicted on you, because that's unfair to them.
Okay. Miss Plains, you want to vent some more? You want to, whack the mole again?
Please don't use the word vent.
Oh, no. Oh, I
because
apologize.
I'm not venting.
No, I'm okay with
Giving
that.
her opinion.
I'm merely sharing my experience.
Your
These
thoughts.
are my experience. I'm not going to allow you or anyone else to take away from my experience.
No, that's your experience. No.
But to piggyback off what Bria and Leanne said, and Bria, it was so well said. Unlearn that behavior. Let me tell you something. I watched my mom. I grew up in an extended family, so it was all my aunts, and it was very few men. Like, I had one uncle in a house, but at one point it was 15 to 16 of us living in one house. And that's how I grew up to like the 8th grade. So I watched my mom, I watched my aunts like tear men down, like gutter, cut your throat. I heard stuff like, I cut you too short to shit in. I mean, I picked up a multitude of lines, but I watched them disrespect Black men. So as I was coming up, I've always had a sharp tongue. So I knew what to say, how to say it, you know, and I definitely played my part in not being kind. But once I got older and I realized it wasn't getting me anywhere, and so many times I was being threatened to get popped in my mouth because I don't know how to speak to men, I had to change my ways. And like Leanne said, I'm at a point in my life now where I choose not to surround myself with people who do not support me. And like you say, on any platform, whether it be personal, business, you know, that's just something that I'm choosing not to do. It took me a moment to get to this place, though. You know, I wasn't always at this place. But do I want brothers to stand up for sisters and fight for us and hold our hands when we out in public and carry the bags in and he cook and take on loads, you know, take on roles in the house? It's not this woman's work and this man's work, you know. Oh yes, I'm for that. Do moms play a part in we raising our boys wrong? Yes, we do. We really do. We dress our boys like how we want our men to look. We allow our boys to watch our men disrespect us. So, you know, that's putting in his head like, oh shit, he called my mama a bitch, and then he was back over that same night, you know, and so they learn that. Is he gonna mess with what we call a loose woman? Yes, he is. Keep our fingers crossed he don't get her pregnant, but he definitely gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's definitely gonna mess with her. But my son, he's 15 now. Those are the type of conversations that we're having now. I know it's gonna come to a point where you think this race of women may be more beautiful than this woman. But you know what I keep saying, and I don't even know if I'm wrong for saying it. I could be wrong for saying it. But I keep saying, you better not bring a non-Black woman in my house when this Black woman has went to bat for you. You know, I could be wrong in saying it, but that's what I say to my son. I say it because of my experience, and sometimes after I say it, the look on his face be like you dead wrong for saying it. He don't say it, but the look on his face be like you dead wrong. So again, that's something that I need to unlearn. That's something that I need to pray about, you know. But do I want to see him with a Black woman? Definitely. Do I want to see him with a dark-skinned woman? Most definitely. You know, so I have some issues of my own that I need to work on. So no one's perfect in a sense, but I just feel like, man, look at me. Do you not see me? Do you not see me in all my greatness? Like, look what I do. Look what I'm capable of. Look what I came from. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like,
your growth. Look at your growth. Like you
right,
said,
get my bag.
I used to be one way. Now I went ahead and I've adapted. I've changed. I've molded. I've gotten stronger and better. And you think, okay, now I'm the full package. Where are you at? But they still have to learn. They still have to do it themselves. And just because they're in their 30s, and me and you had that conversation, a lot of times when men are in their 20s and up until they get to their 30s, they're not mentally there yet. They're still experiencing, they're still in that kid zone a little bit. They don't mature as fast as women do. So they're always a little bit behind when it comes to that.
I do want,
and it's not even that they don't mature as fast as women, they just don't have to. Like when we grow up, like I grew up with baby dolls. I was taking care of kids when I was like 5. So that's what I'm growing up trying to do. Men aren't raised like that. So it falls on both parents. And I think the question that you posed was kind of interesting because it almost puts it in a lens where it's like we're blaming Black women again for how our sons are growing up. But where are the dads? Like that's a thing too. So where are y'all at? Why are we raising these kids by ourselves? But I can see what you're saying, but why are we like this? Like, why aren't you respecting me? But it always gets flipped in the way like you letting him disrespect you. He's disrespecting me. So why don't we do that? Why don't we talk about that? But just my little 2 cents. My bad. You was talking.
No, I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate with you. I am fully aware that Black,
and that's not personal either. I'm just saying, like, in general, it's not to you specifically.
No, I take full accountability of not valuing Black women through my adolescent and my teenage years. I take full ownership of not doing that. Me and Miss Plains had a conversation one day, and she did it, ripped me up one day. She killed me. I was like, man, my time out. But we as black men, we are not there as much as we should be. With a bunch of other stuff that's kind of like keeping us in a corner where we can't do things. But that's a whole nother conversation.
But why is it though?
Yeah,
why is it that way? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay,
The next side.
why is it that the fathers are not around?
Not the father's
why-
side, but like you said, you weren't there. You like when you were younger, you weren't there for black women. Like,
Okay, cool.
What was the why? Why was it like that?
Well, why I grew up, like you talked about the color thing. I'm lighter than everybody, so I got chewed up. Oh, you the pretty boy, you the light-skinned boy. The black girls didn't want to talk to me. Dark girls didn't want to talk to me. Oh, you know, and then women, they have this thing. I'm not want to keep blaming women, but there's this thing about being tough. Like as a man, you need to be tough. You gotta look a certain way. Do I look tough? No, I'm just very cute and handsome and all that good stuff. That's all I am. But I didn't look the part. I'm not gonna tell you. Somebody told me they looked at me. He's like, man, I thought you was gay. I was like, damn, like you thought I was gay? Like how you jumped to that conclusion? Because I don't look the part. I'm not gonna point no fingers at nobody. But I'm like, okay.
But you are, but okay.
I didn't look the part. So then I grew up very color struck. My mother's high yellow. Y'all see my mom, she's super high yellow. My daddy the same, my daddy black, like super black. But I grew up thinking, okay, light is better. You know, they don't treat me this certain way because if you think about it, the light skinned girls in the same bubble as me. Oh, you think you're the pretty girl. So we in our own little bubble. We think we're too hot then. But we do, like you said, we have to unlearn those things as far as the colorism in our community. That's a big deal in our community. Colorism. Like, oh, the light-skinned girl better. She looked close to being foreign. You know, the black girl is, I grew up every day like, mama, I'm not getting no dark-skinned girl pregnant. It's just not happening. And that was the most hateful thing that I ever said in my life. But now I'm like, that is so stupid. Why did I say stupid shit like that? I look at a lot of dark, shiny ass black women. I'm like, damn, she's shiny as hell. Only she give me the time of day. But that was my stupidity and my childishness ways. That's what's happening. But now that I've unlearned some of those concepts that was placed on me, I know better. You know what I mean? So
and that's not on you too. Like when I was growing up, even like with dolls, like if that, I don't know if y'all remember American Girl, but y'all know Addie was the slave. I remember my mom brought me Addie, and I literally had tears like streaming down my face because she brought me the slave doll, and I remember her literally taking it back and getting me Josephina, the Native American one. And keep in mind, I'm black. Both my parents are black. And I just remember that, and I cringe at myself. Like, damn, like you really hated that doll so much that you made your mama take it back and get you a Native American doll. So those are things that we did learn growing up, and now that we're older, we make those changes. So that's what that is.
Okay, so
the exact opposite though. Like I bought my kids. My mother bought me black dolls. I refused to have any doll that wasn't black in my house. Like it was not a thing. Like all your dolls will look like you. So when they came out with, when you could customize the American doll, my daughter had the custom one that looked just like her. Every single doll she had growing up was black because you need to embrace that.
It's funny you guys talk about dolls. So when I had my boy, Blue, his mother's not black. Don't need to be. She wasn't trying. She bought my son a black Barbie doll. I was like, whoa, that's. She was like, no, he needs to see himself. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm learning that. That is very powerful. He got a black doll, and the doll name is Lupita because I love Lupita. So, and Lupita sits in our room and she's clean and all that good stuff. Super pretty. But yeah,
but see, we need more men to think like that versus the women. So this is where we're talking about men not supporting black women right there. She's not a black woman, yet she supported a black child and him being able to example that. You're a black man. Why didn't you think of, supporting your black women? Like, that you got treated a certain way because you weren't dark enough and you were light and you didn't like the way it made you feel. So why would you make a darker woman feel the same way you did?
Because hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, but that's two wrongs don't make a right.
No, you don't.
Especially when it's your people you're supposed to be backing.
Yeah, you're right. But like I said, hurt people, and they do stupid things, and when they don't know no better, when you're uneducated, I'll say that when you're uneducated and you don't know your worth, you say a lot of stupid things. You say a lot of stupid things.